Mary Tews. Christine Walker, Major Award, Principal's Honorable. And Heather Weir. Ladies and gentlemen, graduates from the House panel.
Sean Balance, bachelor's diploma.
However, if performance is what you want, then taking the time, making that investment in yourself to learn those skills.
Indeed, I point out as chairman that the commissioner may have proof, and if so, he certainly can display it here and now.
To friends to
I have papers to prove
saying,
it.
and that those are all important. You can't skip one.
And that takes what?
Communication.
And time.
Which
Takes
is
time.
and a fourth. When you subtract 9 1/4 from 8 1/2, you get a -3/4. Now we're going to measure waist to hip, center back.
Among other things, its own random. I can't get in and out.
Curvature of your body on the side is greater than the center back to your hips. That's good news. I like that. You like that? That's great. The become
Good afternoon. My name is Dennis Mohan.
In keeping up with these revolutions.
And more than half the retail sales, but just 4% of the land. For example, from 1950 to 1956, metropolitan New York dropped 1% in population, while in a similar span, its suburbs rose 29%. In Suffolk County, for example,
the many different Ford F-Series truck promotions. At Welcome Ford Sales in Fort Saskatchewan, we have no gimmicks, just the lowest possible price. I can't call you, but you can call me at 998-3400.
Piece, you'll see it matches up with the line of motion of the footwork, so she's able to follow through down the lane. It matches up with the line that she was walking along. And here's the lines again, from the starting point through the arrow into the pins. Remember, from the stance position, walk directly to the target. Arm swing matches the line of motion of the body before the release. And the ball takes on a line of motion that's determined by the walking that you've done and the arm swing that you have. Welcome to my practice area. At least it wasn't your...
You're marking gimmick. Yeah?
Diagrammed, not quite. This is a picture of what a human brain wave might look like. It's a way of explaining television's power as an advertising medium.
Really busy. You might be one of them that just doesn't seem to have the time to be able to practice as much as you'd like. Also, the bowling centers are often busy. You might bowl on a Monday night league, and Tuesday night's also good for you to go down and practice, and they've got a league down there, and so you're not able to have the lanes available when you'd like them to be that way. While a hallway is really all you need in order to be able to help your game out. It doesn't very big, and definitely
Sight
this isn't
accounts
a very
for
big one.
about 65%
All you have to
of
do
what
is
we
go
learn.
through your delivery,
When you combine sight and sound,
right through your approach,
learning is
pretending that you're
35%
letting the ball
more
go
effective than
down
just
the
sight
lane.
alone. And when
It's
you
just
add
body
motion,
movement over
perhaps
and over,
you begin to see
trying
why
get the
television has
muscles,
changed
trying
our
to
way
get
of
the
life
mind to
in just
remember
10
how
years.
you want it to be done.
Proof of this is that there are
It's
now
really
45
difficult
million
to
TV
simulate
sets in the U.S.
The
9
practice
out
that
of
you
10
can
U.S.
do
homes
at
have
the
television
lane.
already.
This can't replace it.
And a new TV
So
home
you do
is
have to
added
get down to
every
the bowling
14
center.
seconds.
But if you bowl on a Monday night,
What do they want?
instead of just walking on in there after you've had supper in a hurry, get the shoes on, and the first ball of bowling is the first.
Television's flexibility allows the advertiser to capitalize on the sharply divergent tastes in television viewing. Where and
I'm
when
Alf,
they
and
occur.
what's your name? And then, would you
Also,
like to
in
eat
one
lunch
form
with
or
me and
another,
my friends?
more
I think that'd be, to me, that would impress me, and that would just make me want to get to know you better.
Slapping their tail in time to music, ladies and gentlemen, the Saw Dancers. Tonight our true.
But why?
Well, there was a robbery yesterday at Kryptonic.
And you'll improve a lot, probably fooling yourself. Other than that, though, this is a...
There was a printer that thought it was a copier. It was fast. Pages a minute.
Right? You're just like, wow, how cool, you know? And like my ex-boyfriend, he used to read a chapter of Proverbs every time we went out, before we went out. And it was so cool. I mean, that was the one thing that kept us together.
Guys, let me ask you this question. Why don't most guys take the initiative spiritually?
Products.
The front, then it's just in the...
Sounds like a good reason to pray.
Guilty
So that's where we have to...
Pages on grocery shelves.
I mean,
for the waistline stamp
say to a girl,
by that point, and also the depth.
Ending the evening, and you say, let's pray.
And center stage, Ianui. You can do it, Ianui. Ladies and gentlemen, the star of our show, Ianui. All this to all of you, mahalo.
Yes,
And aloha. Have a good day.
Has there ever been anyone you couldn't manipulate, beguile, or seduce?
How about somebody that throws the ball harder? Somebody that maybe isn't quite as flexible as Coral is.
Go farther than this.
TMP or Test Market Plan Cities where you can find out how effective Spot TV is.
Yes, and all this at no additional cost, as they say, just normal media expenses.
Let's look at some results recorded by Ward Durrell. Plan service. Example number 1. Welching. Purchase.
Your back crotch length.
Upward 37%.
We started taking advantage of time.
On your body. If your crotch seam length was accurate, shorten your crotch depth measurement on both your front and back patterns by the amount and that they were too long, and note this for all future patterns.
You're actually sliding while your arm's coming through. And it doesn't matter whether you're doing the 3-step or the 4-step. It's going to be the same at the end anyway. So we'll try the 3-step right here.
That's the lane.
The lane, hands down at the side, or if you're at home, just hands down on the side in the hallway or wherever you happen to be. Now, because I'm right-handed, I'm going to start with my left foot. And as you've noticed on the video before, be able to just grab a ball and throw strikes, but it's very important to get the balance down first so the hands aren't moving. Hands just down at the side, and it's just going to be 1, 2, 3. Notice that the back leg is nice and straight, the foot down, the shoulders are up, and you can actually put a plate on this leg right here because we're down that low, and the plate wouldn't fall off. Or probably wouldn't fall off. So that's very important. You've got to get If you're not on...
To play the word in that so-called Coliseum, we might have...
I wasn't really listening to you. I was on my way out of here. But if this is another excuse... Work. 20 daytime announcements on one station, WABC TV, have a 71.6 reach and a 4.2 frequency.
Well, here in the Windy City,
Just a second, Walt. I'd like to point out to Wally Ballou that if Chicago's figures seem high, we should bear in mind that many more people
Hertz U-Drive It, Playtex girdles, and even Venus pencils have also documented Spot TV's tremendous selling power through TV. Position to see
1, 2, and 3, but this has absolutely nothing, which means it's set on 0. So once we know that, we can get started. Now, first of all, I'm going to loosen knobs 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to set these windows, these 4 windows.
You might like it. Pause the tape now and try the exercise. Stand far enough back on the approach that when you finish, you'll be a couple inches from the foul line without going over. Learning the arm swing is the same for 3-steppers or 4-steppers.
Good.
Don't be so lazy. Get up. Come for a swim. It's great.
Nah, I'm gonna sleep in.
Girls, influenced by Spot TV.
Spot TV? Wowee, Mr. Fairley. Wait till I tell a gang you told me about that.
What's all that noise?
Chicken every time. West Edmonton Mall is your magical place. It's where lights dance on rides where you believe you could fly to a sea of good times under a warm, sunny sky. It's the place bursting with excitement, pride, no matter what old does outside. And there's only one place it can all happen for you. And
cheating. Get the elbow up so that you've got a follow through. Okay, so, and then you would just go without moving the feet, left, right, left. You do it again, and this time you go 1.
You are keeping it strictly business, right, Mac?
Strictly.
Global's got it. Thursday at 7:30.
It's all good stuff.
Like a marine exhibit.
A whale! Hey, they're getting a couple of killer whales.
I heard it's full.
I bet it's just for hippos.
It'll be just like Marine World.
Yeah, Marine World. You know, sharks, crocodiles.
Whoa, fellas, what's the panic?
RCA, the most trusted name in television.
Except for the hip are set at 30 inches. Now I'm going to begin to draw. It tells you to start at A and draw up.
7-function remote control color television, so beautiful it enhances any decor. Clean, modern styling.
Finally.
Back, through. When you're finished with that, then we'll do...
Wireless Wizard electronic remote control. So perfected. You can operate every control.
6 collectible volumes of compelling wildlife action. From the ocean's deep to the plains of the Serengeti.
And put it back now to the original setting.
Balance. And you've learned how to move your arms. You know, it seems, hey, this is pretty simple stuff, pretty elementary. You can chew gum and walk. You can bowl, right?
And I'll watch the mask. You keep your mind.
Okay? You're going to do it over and over and over again until such time as it becomes really comfortable.
At this point, I'm going to measure.
Elements are going to become involved in it if you do it properly. 2 things you want to watch out for. You don't want to get your hands moving too soon. Then you just kind of carry it down the lane, try to pull it through. Or your hands moving too late, get to the foul line, don't slide, and then pull it through. You probably recognize both of those. What you want to do is go over your delivery. A lot more down at the lanes. To develop good timing, repeatedly play this tape. Imagine what this approach would feel like to do. Get the image in your mind of what it looks like. And every commercial, play the tape. You'll be surprised how much practice you'll get. Welcome all 4-step bowlers, or at least those of you that think you might want to be a 4-step bowler. Believe me, it is. However, I've coached a lot of people on how to throw a 4-step. People that have turned out to be very...
Sound. Clear, black and white. This selector button changes channels clockwise in ascending order to pre-selected local channels, while this front window channel indicator lets you know at a glance what channel you're viewing, even from across the room. This button...
All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We have hit the halfway point. We are 31 minutes in. I forgot to hit record for the first 6 minutes. And I think we're just going to leave it out. So if you want that 6 minutes. Hey, buddy. Vito. If you want that 6 minutes, you gotta watch the live. That's what I was trying to say. Anyways, yeah, thank you. Oh, there he is again. What do you want? He's got nothing to say. He just wants to rub against the mic. Right? He's a good boy. Anyways, yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. We're off to a good start here. We got lots of content, lots of different stuff. And I really don't have much to say. Just, you know, I'm going to get back to the show. I'm going to stop yakking. What's that? Anyway, that's... Oh, Vito. He's wrecking the place, this guy. That's what he likes to do. He likes to squirm around the cords. All right, back to the show.
The ball in their hand so that their hand's completely underneath it. And as they go to throw the ball, they'll come back and cup it up behind here. And then when they go and try to follow through. It's a very difficult way of throwing. It's usually when you're a little bantam in YBC.
Merry Christmas.
For me?
Certainly not. I thought you were probably a 6. I look very nice as a
4. If this was stronger, I'd do it.
But
a 100%. And why these?
He just made himself at home here on my lap. Oh, Vito, you're such a good boy. You're such a good boy.
Also has a built-in antenna, and that means that in many areas there's no installation of any small,
like swayback. This is usually corrected automatically by the waistline stance adjustment if it was measured and done correctly.
On mollusks, stations, and sometimes damages shellfish beds.
You can be sure if it's Westinghouse.
The population of people is growing every year, and they need the space, so they're destroying the habitats of much of the wildlife and turning agricultural areas.
That?
We live, the place where we get our food. The panda's habitat is the bamboo forest of China. It used areas of
here to score. Triple double, no trouble, I got game galore. Watch the turnaround jumper, watch me come like thunder. Is it the shoes you wonder? Grab the bound, dish the pill. Grant Hill coming through. And ultimate skills. GA leaving you right where you stand. Moving too quick, you're too late. I'm going hard to the rack. Your game's whack. When I attack, stay back, way back. GH4 by Fila. Change the game.
Pleasure, yet costs just $5.25.
Okay, I bring the kids.
Be around by the year 2000.
Yeah, people can. have a difficult time having babies. It's not as easy for them to have children as it is for most of us, or even humans. Scientists are trying to help pandas give birth to more babies, but it takes a lot of hard work. Cubs are pink at birth, and they're so small that they could fit into a hand.
Did you find what you were looking for?
If he threw a straight ball, it would miss to the left, even though it hit the center arrow. He counts on the fact that the rotation is going to bring it back. Here's Debbie with part of her hand as she lets it go, getting a rotation that moves the ball laterally, allowing for the strikes at the end of the lane. Remember, the rotation moves the ball the right hand clockwise rotation moves the ball from left to right and back. Counterclockwise rotation moves the ball from left to right. That's a hook. Bowlers adjust their line of motion to account for the
that you had on your retail floors.
Island in the mid-Pacific is a center for shark research. It's surrounded by shark-infested waters.
Side seam lines. If the
People have been in close contact with the sharks for hundreds of years, and accidents are rare.
Exciting profit sharing.
described in detail in your
And I'm talking about the 64 products which will be selling through the balance of the year of 1963. We have, in the Zenith line, the highest quality ever offered by any manufacturer in this industry. We have steadily and increasingly improved this product all the way through. Our product line has not been tweaked to bring the price down. Our product has been added with new features, new selling features.
Realize that there is hope for other endangered animals. They might start trying harder to save them. They're not here just so people can have a last look at a dying species. They're here to teach humans to wake up and stop the senseless destruction of the environment.
These people aren't scientists. What? Dying at a rate of 2 species an hour, there is hope. Final note, Linda Tripp is a man, baby! Good team.
Pretty neat, eh? As a treat, like I said, they're given chicken.
A heavier ball should be thrown. All of these things are reference points. Reference points provide information to the bowler. They're usually at the end of the delivery, and they are used to make adjustments for the next ball.
Antenna and a rugged, lightweight portable cabinet.
For example, the scientists believe they can help shipwreck and air disaster victims.
And the 19-inch portable. But there's a lot more coming from Zenith.
To the correct hip measurement, regardless of the waist size.
The most outstanding ever offered by this industry and by Zenith. Our new model, 2005 series. Notice the jewel-like style in the dial. And again, all the same features I mentioned previously. The easy-off faceplate lens for ease of cleaning. Serviceability by the removable bottom plate. And a brand new feature, one that you can
Another way of throwing the back up is to just come straight back, straight through. Have it flip off your fingers. Okay? Like that. One's finger control, the other one's a bigger movement with the arm.
$159.95. 15-degree picture tube in every model in our line.
Turn the ball over a lot and stop your follow through down here. You only get that back up.
New features. The new gold video guard tuner with 113 gold silk carat contact points. And our decorated convertible soldier. You see sitting along the top there.
Pin. You know the one Fred Flintstone plays? They have a really excellent idea that determines the consistency of their release. The ball rotated as it went down, hit the pins. Rotated more often, you know that you didn't have the same release. And you're able to see by what the pins are left, what exactly that release does for you. Well, if you try that with a 5-pin ball, it just doesn't work. The circumference is way too small. And believe me, I've tried. Put a dot on this, and you just can't count it. It just rips by too fast. But there is a way of determining where you release. Circumference of the ball, splitting it in half. If I have it parallel to my fingers and I let the ball go and it's going like this off my fingers, then obviously
Passing on what you know to someone else is all a part of life. Passing on what you know about electrical safety may not be something that's ever crossed your mind. After all, there's enough to learn already. Need a better reason to be power safe?
Throw a ball. If the ball wiggles a lot, if I get this line and it's this down the lane, then I know I missed my release point. If I get a very good straight line, and it won't be this sharp, after all, it'll be moving, I know I hit my release point, and I can keep on practicing to get that release, and I can see what the results are. Okay? The person that's throwing a backup, probably straight ball won't be like this. It looks like this.
Bet you can't eat just one. And if I lose, I get an hour of your time.
New Lay's chip. Listen, though, don't be fooled by their antics. Their situation is very serious.
Yes? So who's in there with you? No one. Who is it? So how come I hear voices? That's just my other side. Yeah, well, my other side wants to get paid for your other side. You got a frosted side? You're looking at it.
Nice people skills, sweets.
I'll leave him a mint.
This filter was taken from a furnace humidifier. It's completely clogged by calcium and lime deposits. But watch what happens when this filter is dipped in CLR. Clear, the most remarkable household cleaner you've ever used. These same hard water deposits.
Just to show you as an example. Okay, now you might go out and spend $40 on this, and what happens is that it wouldn't stop you from twisting your wrist. Notice that that rotation is still there. It does stop you from flapping it back and forth, however. Now, you're right in that you do have that problem, that rotation of the forearm, and how you stop that is that really you don't want to. You want the forearm to rotate. You're going to be letting the ball go. If you throw a baseball, you throw practically anything.
Also, once
are curious and obviously
contact point. And of course now
if you look at happiness every day, life is full of wonder. You are on your way.
Kansas. Aunt Em and Uncle Henry have almost rebuilt the farm. It was pretty much wiped out when the tornado hit and swept their niece Dorothy off to Oz.
Oh, how I wish Dorothy were.
Here's a lane, and we've enlarged the arrows to help you with your spot bowling. We use a line of motion in order to be
And he certainly knows you. It can't be any dog but Toto.
I suppose not. But where'd he come
But it's Toto, all right. He's come back to us.
You work for Hector Cruz.
So where's Dorothy?
I dare you to lie to me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What?
Don't torture yourself.
Henry! Oh, look out there! Oh, do you see her too?
Now, where would you stand to pick the left 3-2? Yes, you move right, standing at the dot, That's next to the center dot to the right. Now, all of this assumes that you're going to walk along the line of motion towards your target. Remember, to throw the ball on the left, you move right. If you want to go right, you move left. Now, we know that you don't have a perfectly straight ball. Here's a backup. The other end to the left because it pivots over the center arrow. Again, if
There's no fever. You feel all right. I feel fine, Aunt Em. Don't worry. I'm not delirious. This is cold.
for all shots, moving this.
See the difference color makes.
Handiest TV set ever built.
One, we can pivot from the hip line, like this.
Lighten up to take in.
I must say.
Here, so I've put the key rings on, hook it up over top of the lane, so I create a gate.
Of course, when I said bank.
Through that center arrow. Then you know you mark it right on the center arrow. So, in other words, what I'm trying to do is throw the ball through this gate.
Okay, well, that was an interesting jam. Oh my god.
Lower acts like a paddle to add thrust. Wing.
Yes. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. That concludes our session for tonight. Thanks for watching, and yeah, we got some exciting stuff on the way, so stay tuned and check out the Instagram. Lots happening on the Instagram stories, so check out them stories, eh? Lots of behind the scenes, a lot of cottage core around the farm, lots of sunsets, lots of rusty things. Oh, and lots of kitty cats. Oh, kitty cat. Meow. He wants my attention, so I guess it's time to go. Here he is. Oh. We lost transmission. Hold on. Hold on, we're here. He's back. He's sitting nice in my lap. Okay, bud. Time to go. All right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.